Hi everyone. Our recipe today comes from the Pioneer Women's Cookbook Dinner Time. We are going to make quick and easy apple tarts. As always, every recipe I show you is easy. I don't like complicated. You need 3 apples, 1 sheet of puff pastry that is thawed out, and then you need a bowl with some brown sugar, lemon juice, and salt. So for this recipe, we don't need to peel the apples. We just need to core them. Now I'm using just a knife, but remember in the cinnamon roll apple pies, I showed you how to use, it's called an apple slicer. If you are under the age of 12 and working with a knife, make sure your parents are here. So do you see how I just cut the core out like that? And then we need to make really thin slices. So they need to be about this thick. If you're not comfortable doing with it and you have an older brother or sister, have them do it, or even a parent, because we don't need anybody getting stitches. So after I slice it, I'm gonna toss it in here and continue going until all the apples are sliced. Our apples are sliced, they're in the bowl, and I'm gently going to toss them with the brown sugar, the salt, and the lemon juice. Now, when you're working with apples, it's really important that you put a little bit of lemon juice in there because it keeps them from turning brown, because nobody wants to eat a brown apple. So just gently toss the mixture. Don't rapidly stir it around. You'll mess up the apples. Oops, I lost one. That's okay. And when they're all coated, we will put them on the puff pastry sheet. Now, puff pastry is one of my favorite things to work with because people think you spent hours making this really nice pastry filling, when in fact you just bought it at the grocery store and thawed it out and then put some fruit on it and baked it in the oven. It's an easy cooking hack. All right, our apples are all nice and mixed with the brown sugar. So we are going to take the apples and we're going to lay them one by one. Let me move this over so you can see. In the middle of the puff pastry, and we're gonna nicely stack them on top of each other, right down the middle, until we reach almost to the end. Now you do want to leave space, let's see if you can see that space around the edges, because the puff pastry will puff up around the apples. So I'm just going to keep going until I've used all the apples. Our tarts are ready to go. The apples look perfect. It's going to bake in the oven at 425 for about 20 minutes. Our tarts are done. They ended up cooking for about 15 minutes. Now, as you can see, a little bit of the brown sugar leaked out onto the baking tray. It's fine. We put parchment paper down, and I'm gonna throw it in the dishwasher when it's done. Now, before serving, I like to take a little bit of dulce de leche, or caramel sauce if that's what you have, and drizzle it on top. Not a lot, just enough to make it interesting. And then I'm gonna let these set up for about 15 minutes. And then I will sprinkle them with powdered sugar right before serving. You do want to eat these warm. They make a good breakfast. They make a good snack. You could even eat them at midnight and they'd still be fine. Okay, I will see you next time. I think we're gonna try for a pie.